Good morning. Grace to you and peace in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It's Pastor Susan. It is good to be with you this morning as we settle into our mats, as we find ourselves fully in our bodies, and as we begin to breathe and stretch and enter into this Tuesday. Sit tall and begin by just simply lifting the crown of your head up to the glorious sunny sky this morning. At the same time, press your bottom into your mat as we sit in easy pose. Just begin to settle down. Listen to your breath. Close your eyes. As you listen to the breath that you arrive with, you'll notice it's shallow. Our first task is to slow it down. Invite your breath toward patience, silkiness, smoothness. Breathing in and out through the nose. Perhaps imagining breathing in all of God's blessings for this day and exhaling those blessings out into the world, in and out, fill and empty. You may notice that even with your eyes closed, they tend to jump around. Invite your eyes deeper into the sockets. Allow your eyes to rest as you breathe. Maybe as you lengthen your breath, you may invite it toward a slow, silent inhale of 4 or 6 counts, balancing that exhale with the same count, slow and easy. This breath is our life force. In yoga, we call it Pranayama. What we know about the mind is that it is a busy, busy, busy enterprise. Here, invite your mind to simply open and empty. And as thoughts enter, just invite them to float on by, without judgment or attachment. As you breathe, listen to your breath. It is enough right now to know one moment of peace. Of course, I want more, but at least the door is open. It is enough to draw a conscious breath and let my hands relax, fingers releasing their tight grasp on things outside of my control. It is enough to shed a layer of stress as if taking off a jacket or a pair of too tight shoes. Ease of being has to start somewhere. This breath is my first step. Let's begin to slowly open our eyes, gaze down the tip of the nose, take in the light of the room and the space where you're seated, and then look straight ahead. Notice your chin is parallel to the floor. Imagine your spine stacked vertebra upon vertebra, straight and tall, strong, flexible, resilient. Take a breath in here through the nose, and as slowly as you can, gaze beyond your left shoulder. Notice when you arrive, you can reach with your eyes and stretch your eyes even further. Remember that our neck is tender and needs to be stretched. Take a breath in here. Let's gaze beyond our right shoulder. Go slowly. Find the center here. Breathe in. Left ear to left shoulder. Chin to chest. And right ear to right shoulder here. Breathing into the left side of the neck. If your neck would like more of a stretch, you can wrap your head with the right arm and extend your left arm as you breathe, as you rest. Releasing here, we'll draw our fingertips to the floor outside the mat. Sit tall. Listen to your breath. Breathe in and draw your right ear to your right shoulder. Chin to chest. And left ear here. Checking in with your neck, see if it might like an add-on, wrapping the head with the left arm. Paying attention to what our body tells us. Paying attention to our breath. Releasing here, fingertips to the floor, sit tall. Let's bring these hands to our knees and sort of anchor them there. And see if it's available to begin to circle the rib cage over the waist. Bit of a digestive massage for us this morning. And then change directions on your circles. The body enjoys circling. Sit tall here. Let's lift these shoulders up near the ears and feel this, which is just not good. Press your shoulders back. Slide them into your back pockets. Notice the opening of the chest and lungs. More breath, more life force. Draw those fingertips to the floor outside the mat. Take a breath, arms rise. Breathe up. Turn your palms here. Exhale down. Breathing up. Exhale down. Stay here for a moment. When we do these simple stretches and combine them with our breath, you can add as much resistance as your body is asking for this morning. One of the ways I like to imagine it is on that arms rising, you could scoop the room if you choose. Otherwise, stay slow and easy. It's your body. It's your choice. Take a breath, arms rise. You might scoop the room with resistance. Turn your palms. You could press firmly here or just gently let your arms come back down. There's always a choice in our practice. Breathe up. Exhale down. And again, stay on top this time. And twist toward your right. Draw your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind your back on the mat. Sit even taller and gaze beyond your right shoulder. Remember that these spinal twists go far toward building immunities, fighting off illness and injury. Over time, if you've been doing this belly twist for a while, you might add into your practice the wrapping of the back arm around the back and rib cage. Just an option. Let's release all of this, breathe up and change sides. Feel your body, feel and listen to your breath. Here we find the right hand on the left knee. It's the left hand behind the back. Breathe. Breathe up and find the center. Let's stay there. Spread your arms, spread your fingers, slide your shoulders down. Breathe. Here we'll draw our palms together for prayer hands overhead. Of course, those shoulders are still down. If it's available, take a look at those hands, again, noticing your neck. And then lace your fingers and turn your palms toward the sky. Here we'll draw these fingers behind the head, cradling our head in our hands. You could sneak in a scalp massage here, perhaps imagining all that goes on in your head, right? So you have sight and smell and taste and hearing, that amazing brain. Stay here. Inhale, look at the ceiling. Exhale, chin to chest. Breathe in, ceiling. Exhale, chest. One more time. Breathe up. Exhale, chin to chest. Keep your chin here, but release your hands back to your knees. Take your time here as we transition to hands and knees. Stay tucked into your spirit and breath. Stay tucked into the space that is your mat. Let's find ourselves, hands and knees, tabletop pose. We notice those wrists are right under those shoulders, those knees right under those hips. Spread your fingers here. Imagine as you practice this morning, distributing the weight of your body into the pads of your fingers, unloading those wrists a little bit. And because we can, let's circle our hips over our knees. Remembering this morning, your hips are a ball and socket on each side. There's a lot of range of motion there. Those knees, they are a hinge. That's a different story. Let's change directions on these circles. Pausing here, look at your mat and listen to your breath. And here we'll enter into our earth salutation. It is 3 poses put together for a flow. Let's break it down by 3 poses. Pose 1, cat pose. Point your crown to the mat, press the mat away, and round your spine like a mad cat. Pose 2 is child's pose. Gently lower those hips down to those heels. You could walk your fingers forward or not. Don't settle just yet as we are flowing. From child's, we'll stay close to the mat as we rise to cow pose, lifting the crown and the tail toward the ceiling, big dip in the spine. Roll your eyes up here too. The opposite of cat is cow. We'll go one more time together. Inhale, cat. Exhale, child's. Stay low, inhale, cow. Enjoy the flow. Do 3, 4, 5 on your own timing with your own breath. We'll meet up in child's pose. As you do this flow, picture your spine. Picture your breath just allowing you to move through your poses, through your day, through your journey. Our breath and all we do is of God. When you've had enough, settle into your child's pose, a pose of healing and comfort. Maybe imagining melting the body toward the mat here. If you'd like, you could rock those hips back and forth if that feels good. Or sometimes it's self-soothing to roll the forehead on the mat, gentle, easy. Listen to your breath. Take a breath here and rise once again to hands and knees. Look at your mat and enjoy a few breaths. And then breathe this right arm straight out, forward from that shoulder. Spread your fingers. You can look at that right thumb. If this feels good and strong and stable, add on by extending your left leg in back. This is spinal balance. Reach with your fingers, press with your heel. Releasing right hand, left knee. Breathe that left arm up. Right leg in back. Of course, you could do just the right leg or just the left arm. Listen to your body always. Honor and respect your body. Release your left hand and your right knee. Look at your mat and breathe. Here we're going to tuck our toes under in back, and if it's available, just kind of rock back to those heels. Hands are on the mat, stretching the arches of the feet just for a moment. And then we'll return to the tops of the feet and back. See if it might be available to stand on your knees. You might need padding, a blanket, or you could tuck the mat in from the sides. Take care of those tender knees. Really, really listen to what they have to say. If you're with me here, we're lifting that crown high. Those shoulders are back and down. Breathe up. Turn your palms, exhale down. Again, breathe up. And exhale down. Here we'll bring our hands to our waist forward transition. Let's extend this left leg out to the side, straight out from the hip. Toes are pointed forward as we practice our gate poses. Arms release. Breathe up. Let's release this left arm to rest on the left leg and reach with the right fingers where the wall and ceiling meet. You can gaze up under that arm if that's available. Take a breath here and cartwheel this right hand all the way to the other side. It could rest on a block, several different ways, or all the way to the floor. Of course, this left arm reaches up and over. Imagine a straight line from those left fingertips all the way to the side of the left foot. Breathe and rest. Take a breath, rise up. Hands to the waist. Look at that left foot, lift the toes, spin the heel, and then draw your hips and shoulders over that left leg. Your left toes are reaching for the ceiling. Take a breath up. And then walk your hands down the left leg, drawing your nose toward your knee. Here, let's walk these hands to the front of the body. Slow and easy, tuck that left knee beside that right knee. Take a breath, child's pose. Let it go. Inhale and slowly rise once again to standing on your knees. Hands to the waist. This time extend your right leg to the side. Your leg is straight out from the hip and toes are pointed forward. Breathe up. Release that right arm. Stretch with those left fingers. Take a breath and cartwheel to the other side. You could rest that left hand on a block, a shoe, or just reach for the floor. Gaze up under that arm. Take a breath and rise. Take a look at that right foot. Lift those toes and spin that heel. Square your shoulders over the right leg this time. Breathe up. And then walk your hands down that right leg. Draw your nose toward your knee, right side. Walk those hands around to the front. Gently tuck that right knee beside that left knee. Flatten out your palms, spread your fingers, look at your mat, and breathe. And then tuck your toes under. Slow and easy, begin to lift your hips, straightening your knees, finding our first downward dog. Your down dog is that upside down letter V. Those hips are high, your chest reaches for your thighs, and your heels are reaching for the mat. Let's pedal our feet out here, bending one knee and dropping the other heel down, and then just go side to side. Pedal it out. And then release those heels to either hover or rest on the mat. Downward dog, breathe. Here we can imagine exaggerating, nodding our head yes, and shaking it no. Nodding yes, shaking no, finding rest in downward dog. Take a look at your hands and walk your feet forward to your hands. We're in our first forward fold. Just stay here. Imagine pouring your body out from the waist like a pitcher of water or some nice chilly iced tea. That crown is reaching for the mat, chest reaching for thighs. But most of all, it is pleasing to the body, especially our emotions, to be upside down. This is an inversion for your body. Settle down. Breathe deep. Here, take a breath and bring your palms to your shins. Rise to a flat back, reaching forward with the crown and back with the tail. And then take a big, big breath. We're going to fly all the way up to tall mountain. Gaze at those hands if that's available. And then release your arms alongside the body. Here we'll build our mountain pose. Take a look down at your feet. Assure that they are in line with the sides of the mat, knees under hips, and then lift those shoulders over the hips. Slide them in the back pockets. Turn your palms forward. That pelvis is tilted just ever so slightly. Look straight ahead. I love mountain pose because it looks like we're not doing anything. Meaning in the line at the grocery store or wherever you are, if you need a quick break, go to your mountain. Lift your crown high, place your feet strongly on the ground. Tighten your thighs and bottom here, lifting those kneecaps, building strength there. Breathe and rest. I invite you, if you're a new yogi, to stay in mountain and enjoy a few more breaths as the rest of us enter into an active part of our practice, practicing our sun salutations. The other thing is this: as we put poses together in a flow, you can stop at any point. If there's a pose that your body is really enjoying, just stay there. This practice is for you. Let's breathe all the way up. Look at your hands. Turn your palms and swan dive down to the forward fold. As you go, imagine any stress or anxiety or issues just rolling off your back. Let it go. Stay here and breathe. And then with your hands on the mat, step back right and left for our first plank pose. Your shoulders are over your wrists. Your bottom in line with your shoulders, and you're gazing at the floor in front of your mat. Breathe. Inhale, downward dog. And plank. Here we'll bring our knees to the mat. And we'll bring our chin to the mat in front of our hands. This pose always feels weird. This is Zen Asana, 8-point stick. We're on our chin, our hands, our knees, and we're going to slide our knees back so that we're all the way on our belly. With your hands under your shoulders here, slowly begin to lift your crown. Hug your body with your elbows and rise to a baby cobra, cobra, or up dog. Breathe and rest. Let's return to the mat. Take a breath and bring yourself to hands and knees. Tuck your toes, lift your hips for downward dog. Look at your hands and walk there, finding that forward fold again. Take a big breath and fly to tall mountain. Release to prayer hands, heart center. We'll do 2 more sun salutations, increasing the speed a little bit again. Take what you need. Breathe up. Swan dive down. Hands to the mat, step back to plank. You can take that Zenasana, knees, chest and chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana has us lowering the body to the mat. And then find a baby cobra, or up dog here. Returning to the mat, we could find hands and knees and move to down dog, or simply tuck the toes, pressing up, downward dog. Look at your hands and walk there. Take a big breath and fly. Prayer hands, heart center. Last one. We're going to go quickly. Breathe up. Swan dive down. Hands to the mat. Find plank. Lower your body. Find a cobra. Find downward dog. Look at your hands. Walk there. Forward fold. Let's stay in this fold. You could hook your big toe with your thumb and index on each side. Your elbows would be to the side. Your toes would be an anchor. Pull that crown to the mat, those chests to those thighs. Breathe. Here we'll bring these hands to the shins once again and rise to a flat back. Take a breath and fly to tall mountain. Again, you could scoop the room up with you if you wanted that much more resistance. Prayer hands, heart center. Take a moment here and scan your body. The miracle that is your body, the blessing that is your breath. Release your arms alongside the body here. Breathe all the way up. Turn your palms, swan dive down. This time we'll bring this left hand outside of the right ankle and place it there. Reaching up with the right arm. Gaze up toward that right thumb. Release to fold. Let's grab our elbows in this fold. Just bringing some more gravity, more crown toward mat. Release the bind, take a breath and fly to tall mountain. Turn your palms, swan dive down. Here the right hand finds the outside of the left ankle. Left arm reaches high. Gaze toward that left hand. And release to fold. Here we could hug the back of the knees to extend our forward fold. And then bring your hands to the mat. Step back to hands and knees. Tuck your toes and lift your hips for downward dog. Breathe your right foot off the mat, easy. And then slide that right foot forward through your hands, coming down gently on that left knee. We'll build our low lunge here with the right foot leading. So really press that right foot into the mat and then line your knee up with your ankle on the right side. Notice the left side, that knee is well behind the hip. That's what makes it a lunge. We'll begin here over time, finding our hands on that thigh, never on that knee, of course. Body straight and tall over your hips. Let's release these arms just to hang here. Breathe. And then breathe up. Prayer hands, heart center. Inhale, twist right. And center. Let's bring our hands to the mat inside of that right foot. Just see if that right knee might like to sort of open toward the floor. Just a gentle stretch here. Here we'll take a breath and tuck your right knee beside your left knee. Look at your mat and breathe. Tuck your toes, downward dog. Breathe that left foot up. Sliding it forward, we'll build this low lunge with the left foot leading. Breathe up. Sink into your pose. Smile. Prayer hands. Heart center. Inhale, twist left. Breathe center. And let's bring our hands to the mat inside the left foot this time. Let that left knee just be heavy towards the floor. And then gently, gently tuck that left knee beside that right knee. So here we'll enter once again into our child's pose. See if you might enjoy rocking your hips on the way to lowering your hips to your heels. See if you might enjoy rolling out that forehead. And then find some good rest here in child's pose. I love child's pose because it reminds me every single time about being a child of God. And I just cannot think of a bigger blessing to enter into any day or any practice or any event. Enjoy child's pose. Inhale, rise, hands and knees. We'll tuck our toes and lift our hips for down dog yet again. And here, look at your hands. Walk your feet forward to your hands. Take a big breath and fly all the way up to tall mountain. Release to mountain pose. Let's just practice some very, very gentle balance this morning. So imagine that your left foot is growing roots through the floor and through the earth. Bring your right toes outside the mat and just gently set your toes there. This might be your balance this morning. This is a balance that you could practice at the kitchen sink or when you're drying your hair or when you're holding onto a grocery cart. Beginning with our hands at our waist, find a focal point to stare at, and when you're ready, just lift those right toes off the floor. Add on as you wish. Breathe into your left foot. And then release it down gently. Maybe take a little walk. And then extend those left toes outside of the mat. Imagine growing roots under your right foot. Imagine lifting your crown even higher. And when you're ready, lift those left toes off the floor. And release. Bring your arms alongside the body, look straight ahead. Turn your palms, close your eyes. Listen to your breath. Breathe all the way up. Turn your palms, swan dive all the way down. Bring your hands to the mat. Take your time, hands and knees. And then have a seat on your mat. Swing your legs forward. And sit tall. Bring your hands beside your hips, straighten your arms. Notice when you straighten your arms and press into your mat, your chest rises toward the sky. More breath, more life force. Reach for the ceiling with your toes, spread them out, wiggle them around. And then release your heels back to the mat and windshield wipe your feet. Sitting tall, bring your right foot outside of your left knee and place it there. Take a breath. Twist right, capturing that right knee on the way with your left arm. Right hand is behind the back, gaze beyond your right shoulder. Reach for the ceiling with your left toes. Sage twist. Let's release all of this, including these legs. And bring that left foot to the mat outside of that right knee. Reach for the ceiling with those right toes. Breathe up. Twist left. This time capture that left knee. Release all of this. Extend your legs. Maybe kind of wiggle them a little bit here. And then breathe up. Reach past your feet and begin to uncurl the body onto the mat. Take your time. Picture your spine. Your body loves to move slowly. When you get to your mat, reach overhead with your arms. Reach with your fingers and toes and wiggle every cell of your being around. Just wiggle around, stretch everything, celebrate, love that body. And when you wake up in the morning, remember this full body stretch before you even get out of bed. Here, draw your arms alongside the body with your palms down. Your feet are flat and your knees are up. Walk your heels so they're touching your hands on each side. When you're ready, take a breath and lift your hips for bridge pose. So soothing to the central nervous system. This pose is wonderful for insomnia, anxiety, stress. Slowly uncurl that spine back to the mat. And when you get to your tailbone, bring your knees to your chest and hug them in and rock back and forth, soothing the body and mind, shaking up that spinal fluid, finding wellness everywhere we go. Breathe and rest. Release all of this and extend your body onto the mat, laying on your back. Bring your arms alongside your body. Here we'll enter into our final relaxation. Before we do that, we'll do the opposite. So crunch up your toes and feet, tighten your legs and bottom, make fists with your hands, squint your eyes, and grit your teeth. If your body ever feels like this, it is sending you a message to release. Let your feet go. Just let them fall open and send gratitude there. How many miles have they endured? Release your legs. Let your legs be heavy on the mat, on the earth. Unclench those fists. Turn your palms to the heavens and spread your fingers. Rest. Rest your arms. Gently place your shoulders even further into that mat. Soften your face. Soften your eyes. Invite them deeper into the sockets. Invite your eyes to rest. Soften your mouth. Gently place the tip of your tongue behind your bottom teeth, opening that airway again. more life force, more breath. Soften your heart, remembering today that we are all doing the best we can, and you are especially doing the best you can. Breathe and rest here. Feel how good it feels to be in your body. As thoughts enter, as thoughts will, take a look and send them on. As if looking at a movie screen or a computer screen, just look at the idea or thought and then just release it. Because right now, we only have time for breath. If your body would like time resting on your side, that's another option for Savasana. You could use one arm as a pillow and rest on either side body. If you are resting on your side, use your top hand in front of the chest to press up, and we'll find ourselves seated as we began. Rise. Sit tall here. Change your front leg in easy pose. That's a mindfulness trick. Close your eyes, relax your shoulders, listen to your breath. Let's breathe all the way up here and find prayer hands on top. Gaze there if that's available. And then draw your thumbs to heart center, your chin to chest, bowing in gratitude for more than we are able to express. Remember today what you are made of. That's grace and mercy and love and forgiveness and reconciliation and all that is good. You are made in the image of Almighty God. You are a disciple of the Savior. And the light and shadow in me honors and respects the light and shadow in you. Namaste. Go in peace.